Hello and welcome. Sandy Lee here, and today I'm very excited to be speaking about the bush flower essences. As I was deliberating as to whether to bring these onto the site, because I just know how potent and powerful and beautiful they are, designed and created and found and developed and discovered by Ian White here in Australia, and I just love the essences. I've used them often, and when I was deliberating about creating a video and talking about the bush flower essences, a series of them, all 70 of them, I thought, well, I'm going to start with I need to find somebody who perhaps would like me to do a reading, because I do the bush flower essences as readings. And so I thought, I'm just going to give the cards a little shuffle. So I gave the cards. These are the cards, by the way. Beautiful. These are the previous edition. There's a new edition which I also have, but I just felt drawn, guided to pick up these ones, which I've used more. The new ones I haven't used very much, but these ones I've used a lot. So I thought, okay, so let's just tune in and get some clarity on my question. And what came through, as always, so accurate. It's 99.999% accurate whenever I do these readings with these cards in alignment with whoever I'm doing the reading for, or the questions that are asked. And as many of you know, I lost my son only a couple of years ago, and it looks like what happened when I did this reading yesterday, I got these cards, was that I am going to be the person the reading is for, in alignment with grief and loss. And these are the cards that came out, and that was not the question I posed, but it was the answer to my question that came through these cards as to whether or not I will bring them onto the site, because I know that these essences are beyond words to be able to put in to how they help heal emotionally. They give emotional support and spiritual alignment. And so the first one was Sturt Desert Pea. And it is grief and sadness. So while as I've discussed, following my spiritual principles and my practices and aligning with the divine, and everything that I have done and put into place and committed to, and even though still have overwhelming moments of grief, that has helped me to come to an acceptance of losing my son. And these essences helped that journey. So it was just taking me back, because a lot of it is very hazy, but it's just taking me back to the things such as these remedies that supported me in that time. And so then the next card that came up was Kopak Bush. Look at that beautiful yellow flower. It just speaks to that emotional center and the grief that I was holding at that time and being overwhelmed by it. And it brings new hope even in the depths of our despair. The Kopak Bush brings new hope and inspiration and light that often when we're in that grief, we do not know how we're going to find again. And it is perseverance and willingness to try, because in that depth, and this is not just to do with the loss of someone, it can do with any grief, trauma, the loss of a relationship, of a career, financial grief. It's that perseverance and willingness to try that will help us to move from that point and find new hope, new light, and move forward in our lives. And Kopak Bush gives that willingness, that ability to persevere through those challenges that sometimes we do not know how we're going to cope with. And then Wild Dog of the Wild Forces, Dog Rose of the Wild Forces. And look at that beautiful pink flower. And from that, I received this divine message of being intuitively guided and knowing that whatever is put in our path, as hard and heartbreaking it can be, is that we are divinely guided, and trusting that intuition and maintaining connection, even though we might wobble and might lose it a little bit, that thread remains, that tiny thread, until we align again more fully and we feel the richness of it once again entering our lives and trusting once again. And that is calms and centers in times of inner and outer turmoil. And I think we can all identify with how that feels. It can get very, very busy, and we can become very, very burdened with what goes on within us, the emotional turmoil that then reflects outwards, vibrates without, and we see and feel the emotional turmoil with outside of ourselves. Sometimes we can get so bogged down with that becomes what we believe is our lives, but it's not. It does not have to be. It's about continuing to seek and finding the path. And although that might not be easy to do at the time, this essence helps to be able to calm that inner turmoil, so it's more easy to be reached by the divine, so that we can be guided to what we need to help our healing. And then the next one is Autumn Leaves. Eases the transition of passing over, letting go and moving on. And that is the Autumn Leaves. And with that, we've got what I see as a almost like an angel's wings of departing from the physical and then moving up gracefully in to the other world. And it's not letting go as in letting go of our loved ones or letting go of anything that we hold dear. It's about letting go to the emotional, or the grief, the emotional turmoil that's associated and attached with that, and finding new ways of being able to, new perspectives of being able to refine and rekindle the light. And through that, we make a closer connection to the divine. And as our loved ones are in spirit, also a closer connection to them. And with that being said, that's in relation to anything. It's relation to relationships, like we said before, to financial trauma, to anything that's happening in our lives. It's about letting go and letting God, if you like. And this essence helps that release and helps that transition from release, moving forward. That transition can sometimes be a bit rocky, and so this helps that, supports that. Coming to realize that our loved ones in spirit never leave us. They are always with us. They become our championing us, struggle with that word, from the other side, celebrating each time that we find a little bit more light, a little bit more love in our hearts, a little bit more hope. And this card, this essence, helps that transition. And the next one that came up was Old Man Banksia. Enthusiasm for those who are weary and sluggish. And all those things that we mentioned before, grief, loss, whether that be in relation to relationships, career, finances, any of the things that we remove from or remove from us. It can be very draining on the soul and the heart and the mind. We become very tired and weary, and that drops our vitality. And when our vitality is dropped, we become very bound in the physical and find it difficult to be able to reach those higher levels of consciousness and awareness, which is what guides us through. Because the higher our vibration and frequency, then the more we connect with the higher vibrations and frequencies. And then we can start to be touched by that light again, bring more love into our hearts. And that is what this helps us to do. Revitalize. And give us enthusiasm, because we can have our enthusiasm for life can be doused in certain trying moments within our lives. And this helps to bring that spark of enthusiasm back. And so, with that being said, once again, thanking the essences and the beautiful vibration they bring wherever they go, and the divine guidance. The essences have such a beautiful high frequency that they do connect with the divine, and that helps to come through. We take the essence that infiltrates and infuses our bodies, our minds, our hearts, and our souls. So thank you so much for being here with me today. May you walk with grace and ease. Much love. Thank you.